to pit road right around lap 36. They can go to 40 if they need to, but 36 is the number I'm hearing here. But Erin Crocker came on lap 22. Why? Because she was running very hot. 265 was the temperature on the water for her truck. The only problem was, as all the rookies have a lot to learn when they come here, Erin came to pit road.
Getting loose. Off 4.
Is there a problem on the track, Michael?
Problem on turn number 4.
Joey Miller.
That's Joey Miller in the number 12, curb records number 12, Toyota. Oh, and he slaps the wall. That's just before the entrance to pit road. Caution comes out for the first time in Daytona.
Well, let's see if we can take a look at what happened. See him on the outside. There's Erin Crocker with the 98. Here comes the 99 of Eric Darnell around the outside.
Just sucked him around. Phil, we saw Eric Almirola do the same thing yesterday. And look, right here, he's got the gas wide open.
Trying to keep it off the racetrack. Now he needs to get on the brakes.
Right, he just tried to hook it around too long, and it just wound up hitting the wall. I don't know how much damage was done. It was a safer barrier. Pretty good shot to the wall, though. We saw cats bounce off the wall in Atlanta, though, and they just keep on going faster.
Just real time. Again, upwards of 185 miles an hour.
Just left her on the mat a little bit longer than he should have.
He did a great job keeping that truck from going back up the racetrack into the outside. Well, you see him right now, he nails the throttle to keep it going forward. See, the wheel's still spinning right now. Now he just locks up the brakes. Just a hair too late.
You know, we talked yesterday in practice when Almirola spun out. Sometimes you make a mistake and you get away from it, get away with it. Eric spun out, didn't hit a thing, was able to continue on. It'll be interesting to see if
he was going to wreck, it was going to try to be towards the front. He has managed to try to run up in the front this entire race. I don't know that he's been back beyond the top 5 this entire race.
The IROC race we saw on speed just before the truck race, he was running second when he got crashed. So that just must be his motto. It's okay if you get crashed. Oh, no,
we got a problem. Boston Reed, Mike Bliss, Bill Lester. Craig Kinzer trying to negotiate his way through. He's able to get through. That was Mike Bliss.
He says,
all right, Mike.
Doesn't look like Mike's truck's all that bad.
Well, a lot of damage to the right side. You can see the right rear wheel pretty plainly.
Yeah, Bill Lester got quite a bit of damage in that accident also.
Mike's rolling again, so he'll try to get that thing to pit road. I wonder if Boston Reed leaving pit road had something to do with this, Phil. You know,
he came out in the middle of that pack for sure. Let's see if we can take a look back, Michael, on what happened. That's Mike Bliss on the inside, right beside of Jack Sprague. There's a 25. We just got a little bit loose. We've seen it happen. He got loose. And then when he tried to save it, drove down off the bank, came back up right in front of Boston Reed. Boston Reed had absolutely nowhere to go.
Not a place, Phil. What a great job by Craig Kinzer in the 47 truck. Did you see him just chill out and slide through that mess? Not get any damage to that truck?
Kyle Krislop doing the same thing in the number 15 just behind that 47 of Craig Kinzer.
He just got loose entering the corner when he came back up the racetrack right in front of Boston Reed.
Look at Kinzer. He bounces off the wall a little bit, but keeps his cool. Krislov came in a little hot, but was able to get her woe down and dive under these cats. Mike just got loose underneath that other truck. We've seen it happen. It's what happened to Eric yesterday in practice.
There's another view of it. Just got a little bit loose. The transition, sometimes when you drive down the corner, you start turning and you don't catch all the bank right away, and it looked like that transition from the straightaway to the corner is where he lost the back end of that truck.
Right along with Dennis Sensor just behind this accident.
Come on, all clear, all clear.
What an unfortunate incident for Boston Reed. He has a flat tire, he comes out, gets in line, and then gets crashed. No, nothing he did wrong, just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Out in front, it's Mark Martin. There's Ashley. It's Ashley Sutton watching Mom go around this 2.5-mile trioval. Caution has come out here at Daytona. This is our 3rd caution of the night. This is just one of the trucks involved in a big crash. It didn't start out that big. Craig Kinzer looked as though he was just getting up against the wall, but we see Eric Almirola in the 75 stopped in the infield right now. A lot of damage to that truck.
This was an aftermath of it looked like Craig Kinzer blew a tire. We could only make it about 30 laps in our cup cars before tires would go away. It was getting into that zone. It looked like Almirola lost the right front tire and was up against the wall. I guess truck slowing down in wake of that all got together. Let's see if we can catch some video here. There's Almirola.
Cuts down the right front tire.
I'm sorry.
Craig Kinzer.
I'm sorry.
47.
How did this happen?
There's
Wow.
Mike Wallace. Remember, we saw him running in the top 3 positions. There's the 15 of Kyle Krisaloff.
He gets out without too much damage. I just don't understand. What? Oh, Joey Miller, bad crash. Look at the front of that truck, Phil.
Matt Crafton gets caught up by Brad Keselowski. You see the 75 of Eric Almirola go by already with some damage.
Take another look at this accident.
Oh, wow. Something happened to Mike Wallace, and he was slowing down.
No, that was in reaction to what had happened to the,
He was just slowing
47
down
truck.
because of the 47.
Let's go to pit road.
Wow. The 75 truck.
Ray.
Todd Bodine was in here, guys, and he was a little bit wanting a chassis adjustment. So what they decided to do was put a half a pound in the right rear. That'll help tighten him up just a little bit for the 30 truck. Krista?
5 trucks have broken away. Mike Skinner looked to the inside but got back in line. Now we see Jack Sprague trying to make the move on the low side. Sprague trying to take over second for Todd Bodine.
See if Ted Musgrave can go with him.
Oh, no.
He's getting sideways.
There goes Jack Sprague. He moves up the track. He saves it. Amazing save for Jack Sprague.
Coming hard here, coming outside.
What a save, but he's going to lose so much
Rudiman just
momentum.
got punted into the
there's
wall by
trouble.
the 77 truck.
Brendan Gaughan getting pushed sideways down the tri-oval. That brings out our 4th caution.
We've got trucks flying down pit road.
But as long as they decrease their speed as they travel down pit road,
God, we could have won this thing.
You heard the dejection on Brendan Gaughan's. You heard his voice. He said, we could have won this thing. Let's see if we can take a look at what happened. Watch the 17 right here. He just squeezed him up on the wall. David looked like he just didn't have quite enough room. Made contact with the right rear corner of the 77 truck of Brendan Gaughan. Turned him into the wall. David Rudiman's going to have some damage with the 17 truck. You see a lot of damage on the 77 Orleans Dodge. Well, look at this save by Jack Sprague. He got completely sideways, drove down off the bank, and straightened it out.
That all happening just before coming out of turn 4. And you see the truck slamming into the wall as they came out of 4.
That didn't have anything to do with watch.
Oh. Watch him. Watch him. Watch him. Atta baby. Atta baby. Come on. Come on. Easy back up on the track.
Well, Dennis Setzer went through the grass at about 170 miles an hour.
I don't think that had anything to do with Sprague getting sideways. It's just a result that David got up on the outside of Brendan, and Brendan acted like he wasn't even there, and there's only 3 laps to go. David's got to leave his foot in the gas.
Well, Jack wasn't up to speed, and he was coming off turn number 4, and he was moving up the racetrack. So Brendan might have caught a glimpse of him, and he was going to try to move up, not realizing that David was there to give himself a little bit more room. Unfortunate situation for those guys. Guys, this is Daytona. If you got a shot at a win here, you got to take it, don't you, Michael? You've won a couple Daytona 500s.
You can't substitute what winning at Daytona means to a NASCAR driver. If Mike Hillman Jr. called Todd and said, okay, we just want a top 5, we're looking at the big picture, Todd would think his radio was messing up. He wouldn't be able to believe what he's hearing. He wants to win this race, and we're off for 2 laps of racing to see who can pull it off.
Mark Martin just in front of Todd Bodine, but will he be able to stay there? We've got Toyotas packed up behind Todd Bodine. A problem at the start-finish line. Spinning around, Rick Crawford. Actually, Crawford not involved in that. It's Ron Hornaday in the 33.
Caution is out. Keep digging.
Caution has come back out again.
They only give us 1 shot at a green-white checker. I would think that means
The race is over.
this race is over, and Mark Martin will win this race.
They're going to get the white and the caution this time by.
Again, this was on a restart. This was an attempt at a green-white checkered finish. And you look at the top of your screen, what takes place.
You can see that truck doesn't get going right off the bat, Rick, and it bunched everybody up. Usually about 5-6 trucks back from where there's a problem. Finally, they begin to stack up, and Ron Hornaday was just right there.
Here's what Bobby Hamilton saw. Remember, Bobby was a lap down. He starts going. He sees a truck get turned in the wall. That's the 33 of Ron Hornaday. The chain reaction got all the way back to Ron Hornaday. He got into the truck in front of him and turned him in the wall.
I still get Mike beat.
This is Mark Martin's crew. They're not sure what's going on.
They're pointing
They
at the accident.
see the accident in front. Then they realize, hey, we just won the race. I think.
Yeah, we won, right?
We won the race, right?
Are you sure? Are you sure we won the race?
Mark Martin celebrating with the crowd here at Daytona. Phenomenal crowd on hand to witness Mark Martin winning at Daytona.